Hello. Today I'm reviewing a cordless screwdriver. Not a drill driver, but a cordless screwdriver. I'll tell you what this beast is, how it works in Ficon, and whether it's worth considering. The model itself is already 10 years old. Essentially, it's a Makita 480, which has bit holder on the spindle instead of a chucking countersink. The 483 replaced the 487, but they left this one alone. My particular unit was made in China for China, so it uses a chuck for Asian bits. And naturally, I already stuffed it with M3 nuts. I wrote about all these shanks in detail in the impact review, link in the description. Dimensions. The body is 124 millimeters long and 195 millimeters high. It weighs 700 grams with a small 1.100 battery. It has an old-style bit holder to insert the bit and pull back the cover. Despite this, I like it. Nothing jams, it works perfectly. Now, the 25mm bits don't snap all the way in, but they don't fall out either. So if you need to get to something, it's perfectly fine. The ratchet has straight swing. It has 21 positions, 20 for screw driving, and 1 further away for drilling. It moves very firmly. Well, 2 speeds, 500 and 1700 RPM. The speeds shift clearly. The maximum torque is 40 Nm. Overload protection is present. There's a light. Since there's no chuck, it suddenly shines where it needs to, with accessories of any length. Holy, it was easy. Button is very responsive. Runout. Since the screwdriver is mounted on a hex key, there's no rigid clamping of the shank. Plus, the design allows for a small amount of play for normal tool withdrawal. So runout is inevitable. A lot depends on the quality of the tool and its length. Any additional adapters, extensions, and so on introduce additional runout. Often simply reinserting the bit helps. Pulling it out, turning it slightly, and reinserting it. So until the runout goes away, if it does, of course. Here, for example, are 250mm PH2 bits. Fail on the left, Loki on the right. One drives evenly and beautifully. The other mills the screw slots like a beast. It's a similar story with drill bits. The longer the bit, the more runout. And cheap drill bits can also be crooked. When drilling, the vibration and shaking in your hands are much greater than when the chuck is firmly fixed in a 3-jaw chuck. Drilling is possible, but the pleasure is questionable.
Seen it. I've done it. You don't need it.
Ergonomics. A standard, comfortable Makita screwdriver. Although, if you wear glove size 10 or larger, it might be too small. For me, personally, well, it's simply perfect. How does it work? Yes, excellent. It handles most fasteners well. Within reasonable limits, of course. Without half-meter structural screws, and go from smallest to largest. So the smallest fastener that the ratchet actually engages is a black 3.8 x 16 screw. It turns anything smaller. And if you compare it to the next generation, which engages a 3x10 screw, that is, the clutch here is much more sensitive. Metal screws with a drill bit. It handles them perfectly. In my opinion, it's much more pleasant than turning an impact driver at crazy speeds. Confirmat 5. Excellent. 7s also turn perfectly, but I out of them. Then I found some 64 screws. Not for wood, admittedly, but it's enough to check the clutch position. I liked everything here. Each position recesses the fastener a little deeper. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Not like all those Chinese electronic marvels. And the biggest one I found was a 6 by 140mm screwdriver. It drives the screws in at first speed and even recesses them a little. At second, it almost drives them in. Well, it doesn't let you break it, which is also nice. That's all about the fasteners, really. Moving on. The repairability, in my opinion, is excellent. The spare parts are available there, and everything comes separately. The terminal, starter, button, controller, which is naturally the most expensive. The gearbox with the bit holder, it's absolutely beautiful. If something breaks in the planetary gear and you don't want to mess around, you can throw out the entire gearbox, install a new one, and keep working. For the confirmat price of 20 bucks, it's beauty. So strengths, weaknesses, and advantages. Size, weight, ergonomics, and the relationship between all of this and talk of... Well, it's just great, as far as I'm concerned. Overload protection. It won't let you break it. It
won't kill me. I'm immune to 179 poisons. I know, because I've digested them all.
Also good. The backlight. Now it's finally done properly. It has essentially only one drawback. For some reason, my particular copy had a nearly dry gearbox. I know it can last 10 years without lubrication. General lubrication is unnecessary, blah blah blah. I waited a month for the nasty metallic crunching noise to stop. It didn't. I had to completely disassemble the gearbox and lubricate each satellite. And only then did the rattle disappear and it started sounding like a huge screwdriver. I hate finishing new things. Nuances. Since this type of screwdriver is less in demand, it periodically disappears. You sometimes won't find it for sale. Well, since fewer of them are produced, it's often more expensive than a full-fledged drill/driver. If I had to choose just one tool at the same price, I'd definitely go with the 487. It has a more delicate clutch and chuck and it's generally more versatile. The link to the review, by the way, is in the description. So what's the bottom line? Considering there's a plethora of hex shank accessories to suit every taste and budget these days, this tool covers most tasks, well, except for the silly stuff, of course, like starting a reassembled gearbox or grinding an out of a crooked Maloki bit. Bits are crooked, but the art is excellent. Or, well, pulling a center punch out of an old worn-out file. And of course, you can't fit something like that in it. Overall, my attitude toward this tool has changed in a couple of months from is it even necessary to my number one tool. In most cases, I reach for this, not an impact driver, or a drill/screwdriver, but a small screwdriver. About the weight of a cordless screwdriver that produces 40 newtons. It's as easy as 3 knobs. I'm happy with it and can recommend it as an additional driver for most tasks. Still, if you need to drill often, it's better to get a regular one with a drill chuck. What alternatives are there? Well, I'm not considering completely drastic modifications, although there are some on Reddit.
This arm was ripped off and sewn on with this arm.
Well, firstly, screwdrivers with a bayonet type chuck. I had some of those and they weren't cheap. Somehow they didn't catch on. The 83rd and 487 separately are much more convenient for me than switching chucks back and forth. Well, it's an acquired taste. Secondly, a cheap adapter for the spindle threads. It seems cool, but in practice, it's not the same. With this attachment, the screwdriver ends up longer than it should be. Bits don't hold properly. Well, I can't recommend it. And thirdly, try something cheap on your platform to see if you need it. Or not. It's quite enough. Something like that. Let me know what you think of these screwdrivers in general. Subscribe and all the other YouTube stuff. That's it. Good luck to everyone.
Okay, that's it. Now let's get to work.